Welcome back to another story from the family records. Before we tell today's story, make sure to like the video if you enjoy it and leave a comment. I love reading those. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. We tell the stories of the records of my family collection every week. Ring the bell so you never miss the needle drop. Today's band began life as a side project from the band Genesis. More a vehicle for songwriting than an actual band at the start, their first album was recorded without a complete roster. Session keyboardists, drummers, guitarists, and even lead vocalists were brought in to record tracks as the band was fleshed out. By the time their first album was finished, the band had filled out its roster and had decided that it would be more than a one-off project. Let's drop the needle on Mike and the Mechanics, Living Years. Mike and the Mechanics released their debut album, Mike and the Mechanics, in 1985. The decision to make the project more than a one-off had been validated by the immense commercial success of that first album. And 2 years later, after Mike Rutherford had finished with Genesis's Invisible Touch Tour, work on Living Years would begin. When he began his process of songwriting in September 1987, it was fruitless. Rutherford had terrible writer's block, a circumstance he attributes to stress over complications with his wife's pregnancy. Fortunately, their third child was delivered safely in November, and Rutherford said that the relief made him feel like a new man. Going into the new year, a newly invigorated Rutherford entered an extremely prolific songwriting period, and by the end of January, he and producer/co-writer Christopher Neal felt they had a good album's worth of material. In light of this, Neal wanted to move up the recording sessions, which had been scheduled for April. Rutherford vetoed this idea. With his burst of inspiration still running, most of the songs that eventually appeared on the album were written by Mike over the next 2 months. Starting the recording sessions by experimenting with different sounds and arrangements, Mike and the Mechanics would spend several months finding the perfect combinations. Paul Carrick and Paul Young split vocal duties over the album's 10 tracks, and Rutherford's Genesis bandmate Phil Collins makes a guest appearance playing the riff on Black and Blue, courtesy of a recording from Tony Banks. Following up on a surprise success with their debut album, Mike and the Mechanics now had the weight of expectations to handle with Living Years. After 3 top 40 hits on their first offering, Nobody's Perfect, the first single off Living Years, peaked at 63. Probably not the start the band were hoping for. The next single off the album, however, well, that was The Living Years, and it was a worldwide #1. I'll definitely be having a short story about that song. It's a great story on that one, so keep your eyes peeled. But the album, it peaked at number 10 in Canada and Australia, number 13 on the US Billboard 200, and number 2 on the UK album charts. The Living Years was nominated for 2 Grammy Awards in 1990, including Song of the Year. After a surprise breakout, Mike and the Mechanics established themselves as a force in the music industry with Living Years. The dynamics of the band would evolve after this album, with Paul Carrick becoming a more central figure as a songwriter and keyboardist. Mike and the Mechanics would release several more albums over the years before eventually dissolving in the early 2000s as a result of several factors. However, in 2010, Mike Rutherford would form a new band under the same name, with the new Mike and the Mechanics still playing to this day. That's April 10th, 2023. Living Years remains a standout album in the history of both incarnations of the band. Okay, and here come the clothing thoughts. Start with, I've been wearing more shirts so that the mic sits better. I think it's good, so I have to buy some more shirts. And also, I didn't flip the album until right at the end today, because Right, I'm reading the script that's going on, I'm like, what the heck is it saying? I was just talking about how this is going to be a bonus album, so I don't know when it's going to come out this week, but it's going to come out sometime this week. Ideally, I'll have other albums Wednesday and Friday, and then this will be like a weekend thing, but we'll see what happens. I'm really starting to think that I just got to turn the album around, and there's only going to be one short song from this album too. I'm sure this is going to happen at some point, but I'm kind of disappointed that I couldn't find any information about any of the other songs, because there's some really good songs on this album that I was interested in doing stories about, but I just couldn't find enough to make anything. And I thought about doing kind of a 2-for-1, but I just don't think that's really gonna work. So that's why this is probably gonna be the bonus, because I figure with just one short, it's like, yeah, I can kind of like put all this stuff together and I don't have to worry about it too much. And I'm sure this is gonna happen again. So I'm always kind of aiming for 1 to 3, like I say, but really in my mind, it's like, yeah, I want at least 2 short stories per album. So it's too bad I couldn't find another one, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So, and there just wasn't anything good. Yeah, man, I'm still so, anyway. The album pull on this one also was like a complete mess, and it's gonna be fun. I'm like, I got some bloopers on this one for sure, and I think I did it like 4 times because there were some things that kept happening. There were some pet bloopers, so you'll get to see that. But it was this album's destiny, you know. It was meant to be, because this was the second last album that I pulled, and then I put it back because something had gone wrong, and then I did it again, and these really are random, so I did it again, and then I reached, and I just happened to pull the exact same one, and because every other one had been different before that, but so it was Mike's turn. So yeah, that was how that came out. But you'll see, I'll put it all at the end. So, and I didn't comment about this on the last video because I just wanted to focus on Russo, and I didn't want to have a share on that. But 30 episodes. That's great, and that means that we're 1/3 of the way to being done the first season, because it's going to be 100 records basically by the time we're done the first season plus the preseason and the preseason. Blah, blah, blah. And as I'm ramping these up and starting to get like more of these, the way that I can shoot and edit them and have them ready to go basically in a week is letting me kind of get my other stuff set basically, and it's some other stuff for my other channel and some other stuff maybe for my third channel even, but some other stuff for this channel, which I just completed the big part of a new video that I want to do. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. This is going to be a new series for this channel, another new series, just going off in a bit of a different direction, trying something new in the sound space. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And like I always say, you know, I'm just always every day trying to make this channel and this content 1% better. So I hope that I'm doing that, and I appreciate you guys letting me know if I am or if I'm messing up, and liking the stuff if you like it and it's doing good and it is getting 1% better, and commenting on stuff that you think I need to change or update, or just if I'm doing a good job. I appreciate that too. And obviously, man, if you're new here and you think that I'm offering something good, throw me a sub. I appreciate it. On the road to 100. But yeah, I think the big thing that I've come away with this is just, I'm probably just going to leave the albums turned now. Like, it's funny because when I was starting the recording too, like I really was like, oh yeah, I'm going to turn it. I looked at it, I was like, yeah, you're getting turned in the second. And then that first take, or that first part of the video, just, it took a lot of takes. I was just like off at the start of this one. I started rolling afterwards, like it started getting like one take wonders, but yeah, that's at the start it was bad. So I think that threw me off, but also I just always seem to do that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to consider whether I just leave the album turned around at the front now. We'll see. What do you guys think? You let me know. Should I do that? Should I just leave the album turned around, or does it matter? I saw a comment the other day about how, because I changed the titles on these to make it a little bit more like, oh, you gotta click to find out what's going on, but then people are saying that it's a little bit too obscure, like they're finding some of my videos that they like, but they're like, I had no idea this video was about this thing that I really like. So I'm always trying to tweak with that stuff, just to sort of make it the right balance between like good accessibility, good information, and a little bit of mystery. But yeah, let me know just on everything. We're 30 episodes in, you know, so I think I'm starting to get a good feel here, and these are starting to get into kind of like a rhythm. But let me know if we have bad rhythm, you know. Let me know. But yeah, anyway, that's it. That's all my thoughts for this one. Thanks a lot. Sorry they were kind of like all over the place. Yeah. You guys take care. I love you all. Thank you so much. You guys are the reason I do this every day. Bye.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, B. Hello. But mister, I'm trying to pull a record out. Mister, I have to start over now. Mister. Okay, hold on. You go over this way just for a second, okay? Okay, go that way just for a second. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, B, you can't do this. Here, go back just for a second. Stay.